T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's your Manchester. Please welcome Michelle Eagleton and Belinda Scandal.
A very good evening to each and every one of you joining us this week for your Manchester. How are you, Cocker?
I'm very, very well. I'm almost as tall as you with my big heels on
I don't know
tonight.
what's gone on. You've got very glamorous and very tall. Where's this outfit from, please?
Well, we are being styled tonight by the wonderful John Lewis at the Trafford Centre and our great stylist who comes on the show, Emma Carodas. I'm in Reese.
You're
and
in
you
Reese.
are in.
Damsel in a dress. Damsel in a dress.
It really suits you. I love the colours.
I wouldn't normally, I have to confess, go to a normal shop to buy clothes.
Yeah.
But we've been putting these, and you know, I'm quite fond of it.
And do you know what I've got to say is I've been missing dressing up. And today I painted my nails red. I've got the red lippy on, and I've got my school teacher glasses.
Who was it told you about always wearing a red lip?
Dame Joan Collins.
Oh, really name drop?
She did. But the reason, though, I am actually wearing glasses, I've got an eye infection, everyone. So I usually wear contact lenses so I can't see. So the jury's out. I want you to know whether you like me in my glasses. And don't worry, I'm not going to be offended. It's just for fun.
I feel like you in your glasses is going to get me told off or hit with a meter rule. Yes, that's what you're giving me tonight. It's what you're giving me.
That's off camera. We've got a great show.
Haven't we?
Really
It is
great.
jam-packed. We have got Luke Montague. He's coming in talking about his fabulous performance coming up in November.
I know, and I'm going to fangirl him because I remember seeing him on the Undateables on Channel 4. He looks an absolutely fantastic, gorgeous person and very talented.
Yeah, I mean, we've got it all. Also tonight, we must say, also related to these as well, we are launching our Inside John Lewis show for you as well.
We have been kind of inside there, behind the scenes, and meeting some of the great people who kind of help put that place together. And there's so many things that I didn't realise that they do. It's brilliant.
And we wanted to do that simply because there's so much goes on in John Lewis, and we go there every so often, don't we, when we can. But it's the characters. They're always so good with customer service. They always know what they're talking about. No matter what size you are, they seem to have the answer for what you should be doing and wearing.
No, and they have got some great stuff at the moment. So, yeah, do stay tuned because we've got a bit of that coming up later. We're also gonna I can't get my teeth in!
She's got her eyes in, but she's not got her teeth in, boys and girls.
No, we've got 3 great guests who have done a podcast, and they're going to be joining us later on. A really interesting, thought-provoking podcast. But first up, we've got 3 ladies. I think they're going to give us a run for our money.
They are indeed. They're going to give us literally a run because we're going to run over to the other side of the studio
These heels.
in 4 seconds. Or we can go straight to what are we doing?
Are they going to give us more time?
We're going to 4 seconds.
All right,
4
okay.
seconds. On your mark, find us, ask any questions that you need to right here.
It's your Manchester.
So that is where almost Jonathan. So that is how to fully find us, everybody. Now we are one short tonight. Of course, we've not got our Victoria because she's celebrating her birthday.
I know, but you know what? It was a big birthday as well, a very important birthday. She was 50.
50. I was going to say that. You read my absolute mind. 50 years old she was.
We've been together too long, maybe.
Isn't it, though? So I've just picked my nose then as well. I'm a bit too relaxed tonight. He's telling me off now. So, that's if you've got any questions for us today or any comments or anything you need to be asking us, fully let us know. Now, like I say, we have got a brilliant set of guests for you. Now, you always do something special for me, and that's by bringing people on that know their food, everybody. Know their food. Go on, explain all about it.
Well, we've got 3 wonderful ladies. They have wrote a recipe book called More Than a Manchester Tart. It's full of just the most amazing kind of food. Let's bring them in because they're local lasses themselves. Please welcome Jenny, Roma and Heather.
Here they all are. Look at this, everybody. Here we go. There we go.
Wow. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
I'm Michelle, Belinda.
Hi.
Now, this book really does, it's, they say that food is the heart of everything. It really does come from your heart, this book, doesn't it? Perhaps you could explain why.
Well, we went out to our family and friends, really, to ask them for all the best recipes that they've got, whether they're entertaining people or whether they just want to put something together really quickly. What's their go-to recipe to impress? And we just wanted to put something together that had been Jenny's idea way back, and she just needed the right people to do it with, and found Roma and I. And everybody's included a little story or a memory, which makes it much more personal and more of a book to read rather than just a book to cook from.
Yeah.
And it does mean something truly to you all. I'm going to bring in Jenny now. Jenny, Heather mentioned it originally was your idea because there's a backstory to the 3 of you. You all met at Breastfest, which is a festival put on last year by Wythenshawe charity Prevent Breast Cancer. Tell us a little bit more, Jenny.
Well, all 3 of us are unfortunately, fortunately, breast cancer survivors. So we met, as you said, through Breastfest, which is a sort of a month-long campaign that last year. And the campaign was to bring awareness to the women of Manchester about, looking after their breasts. But sort of when that had finished and we'd made friends, 20, 30 years ago, I saw one of these compilation cookery books in action, and it made a phenomenal amount of money. So when the 3 of us got together, how do we want to carry on fundraising? Well, we didn't want to climb a mountain. We didn't want to run a marathon. So we thought, right, well, we'll put together one of these. And after a lot of hard work, that's what we did.
Well, they say that they didn't want to kind of jump out of a plane, but do you know what? This is more challenging, isn't it? Don't you think, Belinda?
There's a lot scarier to be. Because you're not just, you're not just doing a one-off thing. You're building a book and a readership with people that you want to stay with you throughout your entire journey of these recipes and these stories. And also, we're brave enough to share your stories as well.
Yeah, we really want people to connect with these recipes because they've stood, as Heather said, they're people's signature dishes. They've stood the test of time. People have added to them over the years. They've development. They've been there when they've needed comfort food. They've been there when they've needed celebratory food. So they're really individual, and they've got that. That's something different about them.
Well, I'm going to bring Roma in now because Roma, it's not just a cookery book and it's not just got these amazing recipes in it. It's also for an amazing cause that you're doing this because, as Jenny said, it's raising money for breast cancer. Tell us a bit about what's going to happen with the proceeds.
Well, the thing is, the Prevent Breast Cancer helped us through our journeys with breast cancer. So what we wanted to do with this book, which is called More Than a Manchester Tart, we wanted to help them because of what's happening with COVID at the moment. They aren't getting enough support and enough funds. So we hope with the sale of our book, which is More Than a Manchester Tart, we'll be able to help them with their research and help them. So they support everyone with breast cancer very, very much, and we just want to give something back with our book.
Let's bring the book cover up, shall we? Can we have a look at the book cover down there? Now, this to me is just absolute genius illustration. It really is quite fabulous, and of course, Manchester Tart. But also in the book, though, you are talking about the perfect Yorkshire parking. Now, could you please dive? What is parking? And it's like a syrupy little.
It is.
Ooh.
It's delicious.
But it reminds me of bonfire night. That. But how do you make the perfect Yorkshire one?
Well, apparently, a proper perfect Yorkshire pudding should actually be served as a starter and not as a on the side of all of your roast dinner. So you should have it just on its own with the gravy in. And the girl that gave us that one says a little bit of water just needs to go in towards the end of cooking for the perfect Yorkshire pudding.
Oh,
It's not parking, it's pudding.
See, do you know what?
Yes. I thought you were just trying to throw us down a little, but anyway.
No.
I was trying to smooth over the fact that you messed up there. The book has got really nice little tips like that, because I suppose as you go throughout your life, you pick up hints and tips, don't you, Jenny?
You do, and there's a little tip section at the back. And on our Facebook page, More Than a Manchester Tart, should anyone wish to purchase it, if you go onto our Facebook page, there's another tip there that's going down a storm. I can't say I came up with it. I have to sort of credit another media. But you hang your cookery book up with a trouser coat hanger. The clip and pull, you hang it up like that, you put it on your wall, and it's brilliant. No stains, no gravy stains, no cake mix all over it.
That is cracking.
That's the beauty of this. The beauty of this book is these are other people's ideas and recipes and tips and everything. And Roma, Jenny, and I brought them all together to share with everyone else that wouldn't have necessarily. They're from different cultures, different countries around the world, and it's just putting it all in one place so that so many more people have got access to it, and that's what people love about it.
How do you go about building 150 recipes?
Sorry.
We just asked our friends and family for the recipes, and then most of them just jumped at the opportunity to be part of our book. And it's not just our friends and family, it's also Manchester celebrities as well, which were very, very nice of them and very kind of them to put their recipes in our book.
Go on, name drop.
We can't name drop. You have to buy the book. The Manchester.
Even better, Roma. Even better. Well done.
I love your style, ladies. Now, you've mentioned the Facebook page where you can get the book. The book came out a couple of days ago. You can also get it from Prevent Breast Cancer website, can't you, Heather?
Yeah, the Prevent Breast Cancer website, and there's also a link on our Facebook group page, and they selling it in the Nightingale Centre that's based at Wythenshawe Hospital, and there's a few other little shops in Bolton and Didsbury that are also holding the book and selling a few copies to those that are just out and about shopping and want to start some Christmas shopping or a treat for themselves.
How does it feel to think you have done this, girls? You've actually got a physical book in your hand that you gave birth to.
Exactly.
It was very emotional. It was very, very proud moment when we actually got the copy of the book. It was a very, very proud moment, and it's very emotional. I'm very, very proud of all three of us, what we've done.
But hitting the go button.
We were
none of us come from, know anything about printing, publishing, putting a book together. So we just jumped in, and we just took every day as it came, didn't it? Some battles we'd lost, but we've got
lots of reading. But formatting,
surprisingly, we never really had any disagreements
about what you're doing, though, isn't it? You've come from a very low point in your lives, and now look at what you're doing for so many people, because there'll be so many people wanting this book, not like I say for the recipes, but for the tips, and also knowing the history in the background.
Yeah, and also that they are putting money towards a really good cause, and a charity's benefiting from it in the end. And people have bought them from me, and then they're coming back for another 4 or 5 copies. People don't want just 1 or 2, because actually they do make quite unique gifts to give to people that you want to really, give something nice to.
I think this year, all years, we need to make, few people have got money to throw around. So, it's a gift that will, it'll have, extra effect on something else. It's really useful.
And as you say, all the proceeds go to Prevent Breast Cancer Charity, which is a wonderful
Let's bring that link up actually while we're here.
I know that it is the only UK charity that helps the prediction and prevention of breast cancer, which is amazing that we've got it here in Wythenshawe. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. How important is it, that we do regularly check our breasts as women and men? Men, of course, get breast cancer as well.
Massively important. Go on, sorry, Roma.
No, I was just going to say, what we've been hearing, as a result of COVID, so many cases of women not going for their checks. And it's a very, very sad state of affairs that. And we can't we can't emphasize it enough for women as soon as it's possible to have their, to go for their checks, to go to do a self-check every month. Normally, we sort of say the first day of the month just to check your breaths out. But please don't be embarrassed. Please don't be shy, any one of us.
And please don't and please don't think it's an older person, an older woman's problem as well. It's all age groups, from 20s onwards. Feel them on the 1st of every month. That's what we say.
I like that. Now, where can we get the book from?
From the Prevent Breast Cancer website, the Nightingale Centre at Wythenshawe Hospital, and our email address. We have a More Than a Manchester Tart email address, which is just mtamt.book@gmail.com. And then there's the Cheese Hamlet in Didsbury and Annalise Candles and Gifts in Horwich and Bolton, which have got some copies to sell from their shop.
You've got no excuse not to get it. The last question I'm going to ask is one that I know you're interested in, but you're just being impolite, okay? I'm going to ask you ladies each, I'm going to go down the line. What is your favourite recipe from the book? I'm going to start at the top with Roma. What's your favourite?
My favourite is the Manchester Tart.
That's the right answer.
Jenny?
It varies on a daily basis, but today it's my mum's chocolate cake because it's got a special ingredient in it. We lost the recipe for many years. I just found it and I put it in the book, but I won't tell you what the ingredient is.
Oh, but it's in the book.
It's in the book.
Because there'd be nothing worse, would there, than taking this book looking for the special recipe and you've decided to admit it from there, would it? That'd just be rude, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm just having a laugh, really.
You should do that.
And Heather, what's your favourite one?
Well, there's too many favourites that I'd like to eat for me to pick one. But the one I love to make is the lockdown flatbreads, because that is just a really impressive thing to knock up, but it's dead easy. Everyone's got the ingredients in the cupboard. So I just think I like to turn out looking like a domestic goddess when I'm not actually. So.
Oh, you all are. We're getting some really nice texting about you, girls, and the book itself. A lot of them are asking how much the book is. How much is it, ladies?
Well,
the book is £12.50 and it's called More Than a Manchester Tart, just in case.
It's a steal.
It's a steal, ladies.
You've got to get it.
We're going to have to halt it there, unfortunately. We have run out of time with yourselves at the moment. But like I say, especially just from us here, an amazing story, and we can't wait to read over that book. Thank you so much for your time, ladies. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us. Nice to meet you.
Great job.
Amazing. Well, you see,
I'm so hungry now.
I'm hungry. But do you know what? Lockdown, yes, it's been bad, and it's not been great for a lot of people's noggins, but it's inspired a lot of people to do a lot of different things.
Lots of different things. Take up lots of different things. Start new habits.
Habits and hobbies.
Habits and hobbies.
Habits and hobbies. But do you ever sit around and just wonder what's happening on the box?
Do you know what I do? I always want a good tip.
Well, let's have a look at Hayley's little VT then, and we'll see what's hot on the box.
Ooh.
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to this week's On The Box. How are we all doing? What have you been watching in my absence? Drop me a tweet at HeyKate and let me know. Now, we have loads of exciting things coming up for autumn and winter, and here are some of them. Coming up on BBC One, we have Roadkill, starring Hugh Laurie as a Tory MP. Honour is on ITV Player and it stars Keely Hawes. It's a two-part drama about a so-called honour killing of Banaz Mahmood in 2006. On Netflix, we have Emily in Paris, and later this year, which I'm particularly excited about, we have His Dark Materials back on BBC One. And Series 4 of The Crown will soon be out on Netflix. Now that's it from me. I will catch you next time with more up-and-coming exciting telly, and I'll see you then. Bye!
Just like that.
Who needs James Bond?
Jane Bond.
Jane Bond. Hey, I'm starting new
That's
rumours
Hayley's
now.
version. I know, eh?
Hey, she had some good tips there.
I beg your pardon? Oh, tips. Right, I'm glad. Yes, she did have some very good tips there. I can't wait for The Crown season 4.
Oh, me too. And I'm quite glad there's a new lineup.
A what?
A different queen.
A different queen? Is it me? La 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 la.
If you're the queen, can I be Princess Margaret? Because
Because you drink more.
Well, I do.
Yes,
well,
right,
this is true. This is true. I love Princess Margaret. God bless her.
Oh, do you know you need a good laugh, don't you? And that links perfectly into our next guest. He's called Luke Montague, and he's here to tell us all about a wonderful performance coming up. Welcome, Luke. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you, ladies? Looking beautiful, may I say?
Thank you very much indeed. Now, you've got a marvellous show coming up very, very soon. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so it's called What Makes Me Tick. It's about life with Tourette syndrome. I have Tourette's myself, and as well as you telling you about my story, I've also got a few more stories from other people who have the condition as well, because I want to get people's voices heard and I want to get a better understanding of the condition.
So what kind, is it a one-man show then, this, Luke? Or when you say you're telling other stories, do you have other people on stage with you?
Yeah, so there's 3 of us. We're using multi-role techniques because we say other people their journey, and we also take the parents' point of view, the doctor's point of view, media's point of view, like literally every point of view we can think of. Basically just to say that it's not just swearing, there's a lot more to that, and it's actually more common than people think as well. I read the other day that it's more common to meet someone with Tourette's than green eyes.
Really?
Wow.
Really. Yeah.
Now, as a performer with Tourette's yourself, what are the challenges that you face with it then?
It's obviously proven to people that it's not just swearing, proven to give me a chance. So I always tend to show them stuff that I've already done. But I love performing. It's a chance to create a character, to be someone else. And the part that I'm playing, they don't have Tourette's. So to me, it's like an escape. And then after the show, and I'm just back to being me, really. This goofy man.
Find performing is a way of controlling the Tourette's then, because in cases like Gareth Gates, and Gareth Gates' stammer, he sings, and lots of other people have used different techniques. Is that your technique to prevent it, or does it just happen naturally?
No, I think it's my technique. It's just a way of escaping real life, really, and having a bit of fun. I always say to people, I love acting because for me, it's like a medication. I always struggle when a show finishes because, oh no, I've got to find another show or something to keep me busy. When you meet other people with Tourette's, some of them are singers, some of them are drummers or play other instruments, and it's just a way of escaping really from your tics and just a bit of real life.
And this is 8 years now that you've been performing, isn't it?
I've done it most of my life, but I took a bit of a break to be a chef because I failed my GCSEs. Yeah.
As well.
No, well, maybe one day. But no, I failed my GCSEs and I thought, I can't be an actor now. Just because I couldn't get on the course, I thought my tics would stop me. But I just got bored of being a chef, so I went back to college and they said yes. And then I just acted ever since.
That is absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. Now, you also do comedy. You said you did theatre. How has it affected you, with COVID and the lockdown to kind of prevent you from doing what you love?
It's hard, really, because I think it comes down to what you want to get out of lockdown. Like, for me, I'm constantly on the go, so it was a great chance to sort of take a step back, see what I've achieved and what I want to achieve, and create new goals. And I'm just treating it as a way of learning a new skill. Like, I've started doing a master's now, because I thought I don't want to waste my time during COVID. I want to try and keep busy as much as I can and write new stuff, which is why we're doing What Makes Me Tick, really.
I love it. I love that title. It's so good.
It's very, very, very clever. This show that you're doing, it's not a brand new show because you've actually performed it elsewhere, have you, as well?
Yeah, so last year it was part of my master's previous one. I did some funding to do that show, and I wrote it as part of as a final project. And we opened it in Liverpool, Reading, and Brighton, and we got amazing reviews. It was great because in this show, I like the audience to feel involved in the stuff that I do. So we make it quite immersive. We make them like student doctors. We make them like the press. Ooh. So it's definitely it's a once in a lifetime experience for 1 hour.
That's right up my street. I love, being a former performer myself. I really like getting involved in the action. We'd be great. It is coming to Manchester. We are excited. It's November. What dates are you performing it?
It's November 1st till the 3rd at the International Anthony Burgess Foundation. The tickets are limited to 25 a night because of COVID restrictions and social distancing. I love anyone to come, and anyone's more than welcome. They're relaxed shows as well, so we encourage people with Tourette's to come. Because there's a lot of theatre out there and not all of it's relaxed, so people might be put off. But no, we want anyone and everyone to come down.
Oh, well, I think they will do, because what? I'm racing to get back into a theatre, and this sounds a brilliant production.
Let's bring up the banner about Anthony Burgess, where that is, so we've got all the information on there for everybody.
Awesome.
There we go.
Whereabouts are you now, then? Where do you hail from, Luke?
Well, I was born in Brighton, but I live in Liverpool now. So I've been welcomed in. Pardon?
You've come up north. All the good ones come up north.
I know. Do you know what? I love the north because everyone's just so friendly and welcoming, aren't they? And
don't get me down south.
But you know what? I've always wanted to go to Brighton. I've never been to Brighton and been on the pier, and I'd like to do that.
I've been there.
Yeah?
Brighton. I've done a few shows there. Not that I remember any of them. And, I blame a guy called Dave Lim for that, everybody.
Oh, well, that's another story. Look, we need to leave it there, though, Luke. But you know what? Cool. Good luck with it all. And please do keep in touch with us. But it'd be great to have you on the show again and tell us more about some of the productions you're doing.
Totally. And hopefully you guys can make it and we'll have a drink.
Awesome. Take care, guys. Thank you, Luke. Take care. That is at the Anthony Burgess Foundation on the 1st to the 5th of November. It's a show called What Makes Me Tick, which is amazing.
The sound of it.
Now, do you know what makes me tick?
What?
The sound of a shopping bag.
Oh, gosh, yes, it does. That crinkle, the smell of being in a shopping centre, but more than anything, being in a gorgeous one.
In a gorgeous one. And in my opinion, one of the best customer services. Now, I know I pipe on about that an awful lot, but the customer service in this next VT wasn't staged, it was real. These people really know their stuff, hence why they're probably called partners. Let's delve into episode 1 of Inside John Lewis.
Welcome to John Lewis Trafford. There's some clean sterile baskets here for you, and if you wouldn't mind using a bit of hand sanitizer, that'd be great.
So excited. I love a good shop.
We're here at John Lewis in the Trafford Centre. Are you excited?
I am so excited. What have you got on your list?
Well, I'm thinking I fancy upgrading that studio a little bit, and you can't go wrong with home furnishings here at John Lewis,
Oh, they're going to be fabulous.
They're going to be amazing. What are you here for?
Well, I've got my eye on the nursery because there's so many presents and birthdays that are coming up. When you've got 2 kids, you know what it's like. And I just thought I might check it out.
Oh, it sounds exciting. Well, I'll tell you what, you go and do that, I'll go and do what I've got to, and we'll meet up for a bit of a clothes shop as well. What do you reckon?
Sounds like heaven.
It does, doesn't it? Right, off you go then, I'll see you in a bit. All right, ta-ra!
I am so glad I bumped into you because I believe you do a nursery advisory service. Is that right?
We do. We offer 4 different services, so people can phone up, speak to us on the phone, or they can book a half hour, 1 hour or 2 hour slot with us to talk about anything they need to know.
That is absolutely fantastic because my best friend is pregnant at the moment and she is a little bit clueless. It's her first child and I think it's a little bit of a minefield, so she could do with your advice.
It's an absolute minefield. Do you know, we hear that comment so many times. People come in here and it's like, we want a pram, we want a car seat, and it's like, they're here. And then, but it's like a huge minefield. They just don't know.
Well, do you know what? I'm seeing loads of things around here. I'm seeing some car seats. Now, that's a tricky one because I remember back in the day, you know, trying to figure out what car seat was going to fit my car. Do you do something about that? Is there like a compliance test? Is that right?
We do. We have to check that car seats fit into your cars. Most people have got no idea that that's even a requirement, but not all car seats fit in all cars, and we have to check that they do before they leave our shop.
But now, how do you do that?
So, quite simply, we sort of talk through various car seats with the parents, and then they make a few sort of narrow choices, and then we go online just to check and make sure that the seat matches with their car.
It's great. It really saves you buying a car seat and then taking it, you know, to the delivery suite once you're, you know, ready for the birth, and then not being able to bring the baby out in the car seat.
Absolutely.
There's loads and loads of things, like I said here, and lots of different services. Could somebody physically come to you and have it as a one-stop shop, really, if they needed to get out the nursery?
More or less. We can do car seats, prams, wardrobes, cots, Moses baskets, next to me cribs, anything you need for feeding. We've got it all.
Makes life so much easier, and I'm assuming that, you know, this is just a little bit of the stock because when you go online, if you see something online, then you can chat about it.
Yes, so our online store is actually our biggest shop. What we've got here is a really small selection. So yeah, if customers see something online, we can help them order it here.
Fantastic. She's going to have to book with you. How does she book?
So the best way to do it is just to book an online appointment. She can go online and book in with me.
Oh, good. That is fantastic. And is it free?
It's absolutely free. And the main thing is we're just totally impartial. There's no hard pressure sell. We want the customer to go away happy.
Thank you so much. Now I'm off to go and buy some toys, all right?
And there you go. That's the end of episode 1 of that. You had a good time there. Did you get everything you needed?
A good shop, and I did. I passed on that advice to my friend, and she really didn't realise that they do so much. So it is great because I think sometimes we go through a store and we pass it, don't we? And think, oh well, can't use that service because it's only for, you know, celebrities or something. Do you know what I mean?
Because you think that if the word service instantly makes you think that it's going to cost money, doesn't it?
I know,
it's not the case.
It wasn't. Oh, I got some nice stuff. Well, you know I did.
You did indeed. And also for me, the interesting thing was car seats.
I know.
I mean, for somebody who's not got children officially, you'd think that one fits all, wouldn't you?
No, exactly. It is a kind of a minefield.
Wow. Strange, bizarre, and fantastic.
Hey, we've got another episode next week.
We have. We're going interior next week. We're going interior. That's me learning about what's hot and what's not in the world of interior.
I like some nice design tips. Absolutely.
There you go.
You'll be like Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen.
I've got the hair. I've got several of them on a shelf, in fact, everybody. I really have. Now then, talking about, you know, going back in time and back into the old school ways of proper shopping and everything, what about old style drinks? Now, what did you used to drink as a youngster?
2020.
Yeah. You've mentioned that every single week.
Concord. Leaf from Milch. Oh, I was classy.
And when you went to the pub, what was the drink that you saw everybody drinking?
Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? Cider and black.
Cider and black.
Pernod lemonade.
These are all old school drinks that disappeared for a little while. Snowball. And they've all made a resurgence. And the one that's making the biggest resurgence at the moment is a...
Aftershock.
No.
Is it not?
No, that was going to be a perfect link as well. You know, flying by the seat of our pants and everything. Listen, this is good.
It was red Aftershock. I wish you'd had one of them.
I wish I'd had one now. I'll tell you, why is there an Allen key random with that? Anyway, the drink that we are talking about this week is mead. Mead.
Oh, mead.
So you've had your food, you've had your cake. Now have your mead. Okay. Tell us, Charles.
Hello my loves, it's Charlie Hewson-Sykes back with another Booze and Bites. This week I've been asked to take a look back in the mists of time at old styles of beer. Interestingly, when it comes to the oldest styles of booze, we have three front runners. That's wine, beer and beer's cousin, mead. I lump beer and mead together because they are made in a really similar way. So for example, when it comes to mead, you have honey as your base, you add water and yeast, you let it ferment, often at a particular temperature to get a particular style of flavour, and then you add flavourings, so things like fruit, spices and hops. When it comes to beer, instead of honey we use grain. Again, it's done at different temperatures to create a different style of beer, and often with a different style of yeast to create a different style of beer. And then flavourings are added, often fruit, spices, and our friend hops. Hops is actually a relatively new idea. If you look back in the mists of time, one of the most common flavourings was actually something called bog myrtle, which has been decimated to the extent that it's actually really hard to find now. I do know of a couple of foragers who've managed to find some, and they will not tell you where it is. They might show you, blindfold you on the way, but they won't tell you because it's still in such big demand. When it comes to beer in the UK, we have so many types of classic old style beers, and some you might even recognise now. Indian Pale Ale, mild, bitter. Yes, they're all older styles of beer, but they've been around forever, and some of them, in particular milds and bitters, are actually enjoying a bit of a renaissance, and it's kind of about time. What we've seen over the last few years with craft beer is an influx of hops from places like New Zealand and America. What we're seeing more recently is actually renewed interest in UK hops, which aren't necessarily quite as zesty or tight and bitter as those from the New World. They've got a slightly rounder, softer edge and are really good for beers like bitters and milds. Personally, I'm excited by almost all styles of beer, from sours all the way down to pills. And I did absolutely encourage you to explore a little. So rather than just going for the usual pint of Foster's, have a look what else is on the taps and give it a go. You might be surprised at what you like.
Done Aftershock.
That was close. That was so close. I was just talking about my tea. I'm having fish fingers today, and Michelle's just told me off for not having a fish finger butty, but having fish fingers.
You've got to have like a bit of vinegar on it, a bit of salt, a bit of mayo, and then if you want to be really dirty, you go and put some ketchup on top.
Oh, that's naughty. It's up there with murder, that, Michelle. It really is.
Ringing into it. You either have one or the other, but I like to have both. Wash down with Aftershock.
That's why she's suddenly cheered up halfway through. She's had a drink out of a mug, everybody, because we love the Goose. You know, they do wonderful Aftershock.
Do they?
They do Aftershock in there. And they also do lots of nice food as well. Must just tell you, I had a ploughman's from there the other day.
Oh, I love that. Ploughman's. Love a ploughman's.
It's pork pie with it, though. And this pork pie, you expect to be like, a mini pork pie.
Yeah.
It's not.
Was it a cracker?
It's like that. With proper water crusted pastry.
Oh no, just stop it.
All
Just
the things
stop
that
right
you're
there.
not allowed, but I
know.
can.
Stop right there. I think we need to introduce our guest and stop this conversation because we have got 3 cracking guests now. Absolutely. They have done an amazing podcast. It's doing brilliantly in the podcast charts and they are here with us on Your Manchester. Welcome. We've got Lazar. Well, he was called Lazar
He's
before.
just changed
He's
his
changed it
name.
to Larry. He was being all cool and down with the kids. We've got Lazar and we've got Patsy and we've got the lovely Victor. Hello.
Hello to you all. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
This podcast,
Hey, yeah, we're good.
you're all looking fantastic. This podcast is doing remarkably well, isn't it? When did you start it and why did you start it?
Well, it was our man Victor who set us all up, and he can tell you why he wanted to do it because I don't know why. But we ended up just getting on really well because me and Laz haven't actually met still to this day. But we've been doing it since April. No.
Oh.
You've not met? Gosh, wow. I mean, we'll bring Larry in, all right? And well, Larry. Hello, Larry. Or Lazar.
Hello.
That was very naughty, by the way, Larry. Disappearing, making us panic, and then coming back with your name changed. That was naughty.
The mystery. I love the mystery.
Yeah.
Now, we know that you haven't met our lovely Patsy. Patsy is from Manchester. You're originally from Lagos, aren't you? And the podcast is called Blaxkcurrent Podcast. Tell us a little bit about the things that you discuss then, Lazar.
I like it when you call me Lazar because now I feel a bit, I'm like, okay.
I'll call it you all night long, Flower. You want me to ask once.
Yeah, the name Black. It was an interesting, I think, journey because what we basically went for is the 3 of us are Black and we talk about topics that are current, topics that are in news, topics that are very familiar to us. So we talk about anything from, we're talking about the royal family to something as crazy as the American elections. We go as far as being Black in the workplace to speaking about stereotypes. So we go across a spectrum of topics for us.
Fantastic.
It sounds like it could be quite a powerful podcast because you don't just tackle, run-of-the-mill issues. You're tackling quite hard-hitting things as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could jump in there for a second as well. Sorry, just introducing myself. My name's Victor.
Hi, Victor.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. I don't know what happened with Larry, though. I didn't see that when he jumped off and back on again, but he tends to do that. Try to make an appearance. But anyway, trying to attract people. But anyway, back to the point. Yeah, you're right. There's a couple of topics that we speak about, ranging from some of the things that Larry has spoken about to life, what it's like in lockdown, to things about friendship, things about relationships as well, things we're going through within our personal lives. So we draw from a lot of these experiences and we touch on them within our podcast. We also have some of our episodes where we invite guests, and some of these guests could be some of our friends or some of the people that we converse with, or our listeners. Could be yourselves, you're very welcome to our podcast as well. You're very welcome to our podcast as well.
Go take that as an invite, guys.
We'll be there.
That's fantastic. I mean, we'd love to have you. But yes, it's a wide range of different topics, and we do enjoy it, as you can probably tell.
And what made you kind of put all of them together, Victor? Because you introduced them virtually, Patsy and Larry, but you met Patsy, didn't you, in America of all places, Victor?
Yes. I met Patsy when so after I finished my placement year. This is a year of placement, which was part of my degree. I went out to America to work for a hospitality sort of situation. It was working with people with disabilities and helping out in this camp. It's called the Fowler Outdoor Center of Learning. And Patsy was there. Patsy was in her second year. So, you know, Patsy and I managed to get along really well. You know, we spoke all the time, and, you know, we hanged out after hours as well. And I thought, you know, she is a very funny person, and, you know, she very smart as well. By the way, Patsy, these are the most compliments I'm going to give you.
I know. I'm recording this. I'm not forgetting.
These are the most compliments I'm ever going to give you. But no, seriously, you know, we did manage to create a really good relationship. And I'd known Larry from university, you know, from all the way from first year. We played sports together. We played I introduced him to American football, way bigger than me now. He loves it. I think he's playing it in Nigeria, correct? Yeah, but anyway, yeah, so when I introduced Patsy, Larry...
He's nodding. He is saying that he's playing it. Patsy, you're...
I just see this happens all the time.
You know what? It's so funny. Oh.
How do you cope with these two guys?
I was going to say, are you the ones keeping them to sort of together and regimed?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely the mum of the trio. I set a time. We did a recording just before this, so we were hyped, and so we're ready because we can be a bit. Hi, how you doing? So we did a recording. I set a time. Who was waiting? Who was waiting for these two men? So yeah.
You're from Manchester. You need to kind of say, you know, us Manchester girls, we don't wait for no men.
Oh yeah, that is so true.
The way around, it's bizarre, isn't it? Now listen, you're wanting. I moved quickly then before I got on the back of the head. You're looking at getting some merchandise from this as well, aren't you? What type of things are you hoping to bring us?
Larry, that's you.
Yes, Larry's the merchandising expert. That's what we're thinking about. Larry's the one.
Well, I do apologize. I'm staring at the lovely ladies, so I was a bit lost. I do apologize.
You should have got Specsavers flour.
I'll send one to you virtually. Just get ready. So I think for merchandising, we're looking at getting lovely bits of shirts with the Blaxkcurrent on it, and having loads of just loads of personal effects for people, because the one thing we always like to have, like and I love to wear shirts, so that's the one thing I feel like we're going to start with in terms of merchandise.
And Larry, sorry for jumping in there, and Larry and myself are quite, and Patsy as well, are quite sporty people, because Patsy's a basketball. Yeah. So we're thinking as well, tending towards those lines as well, like things with fitness, gym, anything like that as well.
Oh, I'm there with you there, Victor.
This is going worldwide though, isn't it? And it's doing really, really well. What's its success and what's its secret?
We don't know.
The three of us.
We do not know. Oh, yeah, okay.
The three of us, I guess.
No,
I think,
maybe.
I think one thing I feel like...
You guys really have got banter, but obviously with podcasts, a lot of it is kind of we just hear you. It's great to see you. And I believe you also kind of have some thoughts about doing a YouTube version of this. But you need to come together in the same room, guys, don't you?
Come here and do it. I'll give you the studio to use for a day. See how you get on.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take you up on that. We are going to take you up on that.
So, we'll just have to sort out Larry's flights and,
I'll go over to Larry and get Larry. You two just come here. Larry, call me.
Love it.
You've called. Come on.
When do we get each episode? A new episode is out when? Every Saturday? Is it every Sunday?
Every Sunday, isn't it, guys?
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
Every Sunday. And sorry, just to sort of take you back a little bit to answer your first question, like what sort of is making us work really well with each other? I think we're trying to make sure that we emphasize the fact that we're friends, and we want to make sure that when people are listening, they understand that this feels like a conversation. I imagine as well, like this is something that you try to achieve when you're interviewing people. Just get everyone to speak equally. And you know, Patsy just mothering us as well.
We don't do interviews, we do chats, don't we? That's what we always say. It's never an interview, it's always a chat.
Exactly. My bad.
I can tell that, you know, there is a really good bond between you three, despite the fact that you're all at different parts of like the country and everything. So, you know, carry on doing what you're doing. I think, you know, it's great. And it's so great to have you on the show, guys. It really is, especially Lazo. We love you.
Thank you so
much. We love you.
It's scrumptious, I tell you. Yeah. I'm getting straight up here. I'll be ringing you. Hey, send them what they call it. Slide into my DMs.
Scrumptious. Scrumptious, Larry. This is what I'm going to call it, scrumptious.
Just so you know, I'm not going to leave this down.
I'll try with you this evening.
We're never going to leave this down.
Stay in touch here. It's fantastic what you're doing, and it's fantastic your program. We had a little listen. It is absolutely really, really good. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you, everybody from Blaxkcurrent, everybody.
Blaxkcurrent Podcast out every Sunday. Please do give it a listen. They are great, and they do talk about some really important issues.
Well, it's been another fun show.
We've had a
But we
good
can't go without talking about the weather, can we?
Oh, do you know what? No, we can't.
He's not been well this week, bless him, our Paul Rudd.
Oh.
But he's had a little bit of a...
Has he been under the weather?
He's been... Oh, play that meeting.
Good evening, Shell and Bell, and welcome everyone to this week's weather forecast with me, Paul Rudd. And it's been terrible, hasn't it? With Storm Alex, high winds and high rains. And it's been raining today as well. That's why I've got my umbrella up. Let's have a look at this week's weather outlook. Alright, Thursday's looking like rain with the temperatures of 13. Friday, sunny, cloudy and rain with the temperatures of 12. Saturday, rain with the temperatures of 13. And Sunday is looking sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 12. So get your thermal knickers on, ladies. Get your scarves on, get your gloves on, get wrapped up. That's it for this week's weather. Join me again next week, and it's time to hand over back to Shell and Bell in the studio for this week's episode of Your Manchester.
Where were they?
What's
Were they marigolds? Did he have rubber gloves on?
He had a lovely scarf, and do you know what? He's a trooper. He's a trooper for doing that.
He had his rubber gloves on though, didn't he?
He didn't.
He did. I thought they were rubber gloves. I thought they
He
were
was
pink
just wrapped
marigolds.
up, nice and warm.
Nice and warm.
I might put my heated blanket on tonight.
I don't think we can leave tonight's show without addressing your gorgeous legs. I mean, look at them, everybody.
I did put some oil on it just for you before to give it a bit of a shine.
Wow.
But I have loved wearing this frock.
There's a few men out there just passed out. You realise that, don't you?
Oh, please. But yeah, we are wearing John Lewis tonight in the name of Reese and Damsel in a dress. We've been styled by them as well as coming on the show, and it's been really nice to wear a bit of a posh frock.
Do you know what's been nice for me tonight?
What?
Wearing a dress that fits.
I know.
Near
It just
enough.
about fit. I had a bit of a struggle pulling your zip up before, but we won't mention that.
No, we won't mention that. No.
The things that we do as friends.
We have got a sensational show lined up for you next week, and it kind of carries on from where we left our last guests. So, where is it? There it is. This is next week's show for you. There we are. Look at that, everybody. We are bringing on back the one and only Caroline Whitehead, and she's bringing us a whole wonderful show all for Black History Month, everybody. So it's a full show all about that.
She's so wonderful.
She's got so much knowledge. I was on the phone with her today for an hour and a half, and the stuff she was telling me, I couldn't quite get my head around.
She knows everything about everything. She is one hell of a wonderful, inspirational lady. So she is going to be joining Belle, and then I shall be back the following week. Have a good show.
When will... Oh, God.
When will I see you
again? So that is with the Zebra partnership, everybody. Zebra or Zebra? Which one are you?
I'm going to go for zebra.
I'm going to go for zebra.
I'm going to go for zebra. Scone or scone?
Scone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, scone.
Scone. I think it's because I've lived all over the world. I don't know. I don't know which side my bread's buttered on.
I like it. Do you know what? I'm going to do a Paul Rudd. Are we ready for it? Paul has nicked our little hand gesture.
I know, but we've not got the gloves for it, have we?
What are we going to do?
I've got another pair of gloves, but that's for another night out. Now then, right then, everybody, thank you so much for joining us this week. Join us next week, 8 o'clock, same place, same seats, same time.
Different woman, but that's okay.
Different woman. Nevertheless, thanks to each and everybody for joining this week's episode of
Your Manchester.